Hey, what's up? I'm Joel Madden, and this is Artist Friendly. On this episode, I'll be talking to singer, songwriter, and producer Griff. Let's go.
I don't want no bad times. I don't want to have bad.
Sometimes it's like there's not enough space for a conversation to breathe a little bit.
Yeah.
And like what I think is interesting is like if we met at a festival and we were both playing, we would likely have this conversation.
Yeah, it's
if
good.
we got the time.
Yeah, it's good.
And like I think artists have a lot to share, and the people listening are likely either aspiring artists themselves, or people trying to do things in the world. And I think that artists, we have one of the hardest paths to success. It's so hard.
Yeah.
You know, it just is.
Yeah.
To like make it.
Yeah, I know.
And then when you make it, it's kind of like one of those, you're one of one.
Yeah.
Even though it feels like there's tons of artists out there, there's way more people trying to be artists, trying to make it, than people succeeding at it.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of how hard it is to make it
know.
with art.
I know. Because wait, when did you start? Sorry, I know this is supposed to be.
No, this is the vibe.
Quick context.
I started in 1996.
Wow.
95.
Yeah.
But I started my band in 96.
Yeah.
And then started what I would say is like the second chapter of my career has been like building music focused companies.
Okay, yeah.
So we have a music company, we have a music media company. So we have a few businesses that are all around music. That was in like 2014.
Okay.
So I kind of stopped touring the way we were for so many years.
Yeah, I see.
And started like focusing on
Yeah, I see.
working with artists.
Yeah, I see.
Which I really enjoy.
Yeah, definitely a different landscape now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, for me, it was more like I had kids.
How many do you have?
I have 2 kids,
Right.
14 and 16.
Damn. You're nearly there.
Yeah.
You got like 4 more years
Almost.
and then you can...
Yeah. And I saw, I think from like 0 to 5, I was still touring. And it was really hard to like create like a family, a functional family that like felt like it was better for them. And I didn't have like a real solid familial foundation. So I was like, I'm only really going to get to do this once in life to try and be a good dad, build a family type thing. Not to say you can't do that on the road. I couldn't.
I don't know. It's hard.
It's too conflicted.
I think now the whole you can have everything thing is like nice. And I like the ambition of it. But there is also just like real sacrifice to it.
Real sacrifice. I missed things like first steps and first words.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't get that back, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that I can be there for. So that was the whole shift, was just like, let's go try to be in one place and build a life there. Because you know how it is. You have to tour.
Yeah.
If you really want to make it with this, you got to be all in.
Yeah.
And it's a real sacrifice.
Yeah. Because how many years of touring would that have been for you?
15 years.
That's mental.
And you know, like back then when it was in the late 90s, things didn't travel. So it wasn't like social media. Everyone saw what you were doing. So you were just touring all the time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You really couldn't be in a few places at once.
You couldn't take content, distribute it out. And like, but still, even now, you still have to tour like that.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it is.
Yeah,
you just have to, it's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
How many birthdays have you missed?
Too many.
Your friends? How many weddings? How many?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you just miss everything.
I know.
You're just gone.
I know. It's mad.
Where should we start?
I don't know.
With you.
With
Do you
me?
want to start where you started? How old are you?
23. Just turned 23.
Very young.
Thanks. It feels
Very
like
accomplished.
I'm getting on in pop terms, but yeah.
Listen, in the music business, if you say, oh, very young, you're like a 16-year-old pop star.
Yeah.
But that to me is like very dangerous. When you think about it, if you said, oh, the music I was making when I was 16, that's not the music you want everyone to like
Definitely not.
get to know you for now.
Yeah, it's true.
So the pop success is dangerous sometimes.
Yeah, it's true.
When you get older and you're like, God, I wish everyone would just listen to what I'm making now because I'm fucking seasoned and I have.
Yeah.
But 23 is still super young to have accomplished what you have.
Thanks.
Because think about it. I mean, I meet 23-year-olds all the time that are still trying to figure out what they want to do. And they went to college and maybe they thought they had a plan.
Yeah.
When I hear your music, it feels very focused. It feels very definite.
That's cool to hear.
You know?
Thank you. Yeah, I like that.
Especially I was listening to Astronaut.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Like made me teary-eyed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm really proud of how that one came out.
I could have an hour-long conversation about that song.
We can do that.
Well, I don't want to
We'll
get
get
into it yet
there.
because
Okay.
I went on a whole.
Okay.
My mind was going on that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about relationships when I was listening to that song. Is it about a relationship?
Yeah.
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 Feels like that. And I was thinking, like, does anyone get out of a relationship without getting hurt ever?
And yeah, probably. No, I don't think it's possible.
I just think it's just
I think that's just human nature. Yeah. I think it's part of what comes with the deal. Yeah.
That's what that was making me think about.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that song because I try and not write too specifically about romance either. I think to me, that song can be both like platonic, romantic, about family, you know?
Any relationship. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
yeah.
like, is there any relationship in your life that
Yeah.
you have that doesn't come with
No,
pain?
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter how
Yeah.
close you are with your mom or your
Yeah.
dad or your friend or you fall in love with someone or you build a life with someone.
Yeah.
They all just come with layers and layers of different kinds of
Yeah, exactly.
emotional
Yeah, because there's give and take, and either can hurt at different stages for sure.
growth is pain.
Yeah.
You can be in a long relationship. It still can be painful,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's so complex.
Yeah, I know. Every day, I guess, a relationship is like showing up and choosing someone. And in doing that, yeah.
But even like that song, when I was listening to it, I was thinking with Astronaut, you could be talking about a relationship you're still in.
Yeah.
You could be talking about a moment in the relationship. You could be talking, there's so many ways you could take that
Yeah.
and apply it to the way you feel sometimes in a relationship.
Definitely.
And in any relationship. It's really crazy. I was listening to that. It hit me. That song hit me.
Oh,
Felt
I'm
like
so
you
glad.
really captured a feeling that everybody feels at some point in every relationship.
That's so cool to hear.
It's great.
So that's the aim. That's the aim when I write songs, you know, that everyone can kind of listen and relate.
How'd you write it?
I was by myself in the English countryside in between touring, in this kind of log cabin thing, and I started writing it on piano, and I had that lyric just kind of came to me, the chorus lyric of "You said you needed space, go on an astronaut." And then I guess I've always been a bit afraid of ballads because in my head, the greatest ballads are so hard to like compete with. So my natural instinct is to then produce it up and like put loads of production around it. And so the version that I had for a while and was going to put out is a very different version. It was like heavy drums and spacey synths and stuff. And then it was when I toured with Coldplay and I played it to Chris Martin, and then he was like, you should strip that one back and slow it down. And I think what happens, especially with me and when I'm doing the production and the writing as well, when I live with a song for so long, you just add and add and add and you almost over egg the pudding. And I think, thank God that's what Chris heard with it. And then I just kind of asked if he wouldn't mind helping me finish it off and play the piano. And I think he definitely has a very Chris Martin flair of playing the piano, which is beautiful and I think really suited the song. So
Yeah, he's got like a feel.
he does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
It's great.
Thanks.
It's hard to get that. It's hard to get ballads, and you got
It's
it on
hard.
that.
It's really hard, yeah. I mean, yeah, my favorite ballads from like, you know, Adele to Sam to Ed, you know,
best.
like it's the best. So I think that's why I think my initial instinct was not to keep it on piano because it's easier to hide in other gimmicks and things. But yeah.
Yeah, sometimes those gimmicks are fun too, like
Yeah,
in the right
totally.
spots.
Totally.
But like that song, I fucking love it, man. I love it.
Really means
I
a lot.
really think that like also you can let that one go.
Yeah.
You can just let it live.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's when you get a recording like that where you have a song that like doesn't matter what year it is, doesn't matter. Just let it live.
Yeah.
Because those are the songs that find their way in really cool ways.
Yeah.
Like, of course, you can promote it and you can do what you can do to push it out to the world. But I would say, like, those are ones you can trust.
That's cool to hear.
Let
Because
it live.
When songs have been such like a labor of love and they're so close to your heart, you always feel like, have I done enough to put it out there in the world? And I guess actually Chris said something very similar when we were writing. He was like, good music will just find its way. So
Let it live.
it'll be okay. Yeah.
It'll surprise you.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah.
We also live in a real instant gratification time. Almost like we put something out and then we start watching the metrics.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like watching fucking paint dry or water drop in a bucket.
I know, it's crazy.
It'll drive you nuts.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Well, some songs feel like you have to because they're like, again, like there may be like a what feels like a time sensitive gimmick.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be now. Yeah.
I don't want to say a gimmick in a bad way. Like I've done
there's
gimmicks
a time and
before,
place. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then there's sometimes just a song that you just put out, let it live. And it might be 10 years from now, or it might be
true.
20 years, or it might be 2 years, or it might be 2 months.
Yeah.
You can count on it living and breathing.
Yeah, those ones just require patience and peace with whatever they do, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like hippy dippy.
No, I think it's good. It's true. Because right now, especially in the pop sphere, you are so chasing the language around everything that it is to be a new artist right now is so...
It's hard.
It's so counter what you're saying. It's like, what are the stats now? And how are we growing now? And yeah, it's a lot.
How do you like manage that?
I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. I don't know if I'm managing it very well. I guess I have to... I'm so grateful that I am so close and first and foremost a songwriter.
Yeah.
Because I think it means that I can actually... I actually don't have it in my like... I don't have it in me to be the stat influencer kid.
Yeah.
So, even at my best, I can't, you'd have to look somewhere else or sign something else if you really want that. So I think probably in my bones, I actually just can't be your internet kid that you need me to be. So I think that's probably how I manage it. It's like, well, there's only so far we can go here in terms of like chasing something viral because what I do is write songs. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's still hard. Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
It's overwhelming.
It's the pressure now, and it's like, it's like no one knows how to define success now either. It's like, is it?
I feel like the modern music career or what it means to to choose this as a lifestyle and a job, it culturally kind of like ebbs and flows and changes. So I've seen like, when streaming came along.
Yeah, that must have been mad for you guys.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It was like everything died.
Were you up for it? Or were you like, what the fuck is this?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was emotionally equipped to think. I feel like I was at a different time emotionally, like with my own like personal growth. And so I think like, I just remember it being like, everyone said that like the world was ending. And I think we're raised as a species to think of like doom and gloom as like everyone's always been fascinated with like the end of the world. So I think we all have a core belief in us that it's possible that the world's going to end. Yeah. And it's not.
I know we love catastrophizing.
Right?
Catastrophizing? Yeah.
We catastrophize everything and everything. So when you're predisposed for this idea that the world can end and that things end abruptly and that it's like, and that it's not a cause and effect world and that also that we don't just soldier on and life goes on. Yeah. So when it was all happening at the time and everyone was like, the music industry's dead. Yeah. We felt it too. Like everything just went like over a short period of time, everything just went.
Yeah, I imagine so.
And then social media comes and there's this new crop of people speaking to the world. And you're like, how do I do that? What do I do there?
Yeah. Were you angry at the new kids coming through like on social media and stuff? Or was it like, they still can't tour like us? Like, our tickets and everything is still where the power is. Like, did it feel like a power shift or no?
I wasn't in a place where I felt powerful. Really? So I didn't feel like, I've always been curious and interested in people. And so when someone new comes along, I was more likely to be like, oh, wow, that's cool. I wonder if I could do that.
That's cool. That's a really cool quality. I mean? Yeah.
I've never felt like I sat in a position where I thought I was the one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I always felt like I was participating in like a theme park.
That's cool.
And like it was a big fun world full of like different kinds of rides.
That's cool.
And everyone had their own.
That's a great way of looking at it. I guess being in a band is also a good way of keeping that headspace.
Yeah, you're in with all these other people, and there's a lot of people. It's like a marriage with 5 people. Yeah. And everyone has equity, so they're all. So at the time when the music industry really changed over, it was like 2010, 11, 12, 13, those years.
Yeah,
And before that was like the early days of streaming, but when it really just all went there, and it felt like it felt like everything was dead. It really did at the time. You kind of felt like, and you were told that too.
Yeah.
So it felt like, is this the end?
But that kind of then was like coming to the end for you, because that was when you said you moved on to doing more business stuff.
That was part of it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Wow. Maybe, yeah.